Another criticism that I see in your videos is you're not a professional.
Yeah, and
not
the
an
thing,
actual therapist.
I've tried so hard. Like, no other therapist online will have to release their data to everybody. I've even put my qualifications online. I've even, luckily, because Dubai, in order to work in Dubai, they have to police check your qualifications. I've even put the police check on there to show that it's actually legit. But the problem is when women, particularly, and some very sensitive men, when they're triggered by your information, because they don't have the intelligence to argue and they don't have the experience to have a counter argument, the only thing they can resort to is suggesting that you're not qualified. But it's their go-to argument. But the evidence is all on my website. I went to school in London, and I went to UCL, which is in London, University of College of London, and I went to Royal Holloway, and then I also did my master's, and then I went to I did my teacher training, which is a QTS, we call it in London. After that, I became into psychotherapy. I started focusing on psychotherapy, and then that's where I am today.
Many reasons why somebody would ask whether you're qualified, because you've branded yourself as somebody who's qualified to give advice. You understand? That's the reason why somebody will ask. But if you just make social commentary based on the knowledge that you have and you brand yourself as that, no one is gonna be asking you for a qualification or whether you are certified to give that advice.
Reads, this is a recorded conversation between Sadia Khan after she was discovered to be the side piece of an engaged man. His fiance confronted her. The following screenshots are texts that Sadia and the cheating fiance shared.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck it. You have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
Go on.
And I can do it on your wedding day and your birthday.
Okay, well, we'll see.
After.
Okay.
I've been in situations where he's been with you in a social setting. He'll call me after.
And it doesn't stop there. For someone who constantly promotes confidence, she's been caught using heavy filters to enhance her appearance online, nipping in the waist here, lifting the bottom there. So the image she's selling isn't even real. This whole story is a reminder. Always look at the messenger, not just the message. And maybe, before we crown someone a guru, we should check if they're actually living the life they're selling.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck his dick if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
Ever since this voice note has come out, I have started to do a bit of a background research on Sadia Khan. Just from a quick Google search, there are some things that have certainly raised some questions for me with regards to her professional background. Now, if you go on her website here, she stated she's a psychologist and relationship coach. But when you click on the link, the term psychologist completely vanishes. Now, in order to be a psychologist, the general threshold is for you to have some kind of doctorate, something more advanced than a master's. And as you can see, when you go down in her qualifications, there's no indication of that, of having any kind of doctorate.
I taught psychology for so many years in London and then Dubai. During COVID, because I had so much time off, I started going into therapy. And then just about a year or so ago, I quit teaching and I started posting a few of my therapy videos online.
Sadia is currently practicing in Dubai, which means that she would either need to be accredited with the DHA or the CDA, which she has not indicated anywhere. Where's the evidence of this? It's very common in our line of work, due to the nature of what we do, for us professionals to be questioned on our qualifications, how long we've been working in the field, who we're governed with. Anyone claiming to be working under these protected titles, please do not hesitate to check out people's credentials and ask for evidence of this. You are allowed to do this. This is your right as someone that will be working with someone in the therapeutic field, because at the end of the day, you need to know that the person you're working with is legit. The counselling and psychotherapy field, it's a constant developing profession, and we're expected to continue learning, reflecting and growing. We're constantly expected to adhere to competencies of supervision from day one. So you'd expect a therapist to be empathic, because it's a non-judgmental space, right?
Unreasonable to expect your husband to still be attracted to you when you let yourself go. And if you really gained a lot of weight and you become a different woman and then he has an affair and you're shocked, you can't be shocked.
Let's make a comment on that. I think most of our content, I know she brands herself as a psychologist or whatever, but like most of our content she makes are for men. Most of the people that watch her videos or that follow her are men, because most of the videos or the things she talk about is to sort of help men. And you understand why that is. If you are into the business of selling information or like branding yourself as a psychology or relationship expert, you're not going to make so much money if you're a relationship expert advising women. It's just so many men out there that are struggling with relationships that can't get women to look at them than it is for women. Women, you understand? So 90% of the women are attracted to 5% of the men. So now, where does that leave the 90% of the 95% of the men? They have to pay for advice to women like her. They have to pay so much to talk to her for an hour or for days in order to feel or to have a bit of confidence to talk to beautiful women and probably date them.
Approach is not only harmful, but it's massively dismissive. Our role isn't to rationalize cheating by body shaming women. When that comes from a professional, that is extremely harmful.
He's been with you in a social setting. He'll call me.
With regards to this infamous voice note, I'm not going to comment too much on it because at the end of the day, it could be Sadia, it could be AI, we just don't know. But ultimately, the reason why I made this video was because I felt a professional obligation to protect the integrity of my profession.
But when I called her out, she lost her goddamn mind. It's now been about 48 hours, and she has spent the last 2 days accusing my followers of being animal porn addicts, being cheaters, being prostitutes, and everything in between. But today she started a new trend. These are videos that my followers sent me. This person left a comment on her page, and she tried to call them via audio 4 or 5
Wow, so it was just a comment. Even crazier, right?
times. And then when they wouldn't pick up, she left the threatening message that you see scroll by here. Pick up, bitch, or I'm gonna post your address online. And here's another one from
It's a crazy
another one of my
woman.
followers. Pick up, don't be scared, don't be scared, pick up. Calling over and over and over and over again. More threats. This is a person that sells one-on-one phone call coaching bullshit for 6,000 GBP, which I understand now is 8,000 USD, on how to be a high-value man. But hey guys, I can save you the 6,000 GBP. If you want to call for free from Sadia, just leave a troll comment on her page. She'll try to call you over and over and over, free of charge.
So if I'm in business and I'm charging that much, where am I gonna get the time to call somebody because they left a comment on the post or my video and I have time to call them and text them and threaten them? Come on now.
Sadia Khan, a woman that charges $8,000 an hour for relationship advice, has been outed for being a side chick. I think it's important for people to be qualified to give you life advice, meaning that they should, at the very least, live the life that you want to lead. Okay, like I'm not an astronaut, right? But if I give you advice on how to be an astronaut, I might be right, but you should take it with a grain of salt, right? I think the same thing applies here. If you're going to listen to someone that claims to be a relationship guru and someone that is going to help you be led to the promised land, they should already be at the promised land, right?
Good example is a fitness trainer. You know how they live their life. They are fit and they are always, they are always working out. That's their life. It's not even a day routine. That's their life. They live their life as, they do all that. And that's the reason why they also train other people. But now if you're going to be giving advice about relationships, getting married, and you yourself don't have your house in order, you're a false prophet.
If you haven't seen any of the videos exposing Sadia Khan for her fraud and her abusive behavior, this is the video you need to see because I've got the smoking gun. So it's good that you're here. I was one of the first people that called her out and confronted her and educated people that she was a fraud and that she was unhinged. And a lot of people had trouble believing me. They may have thought I was being petty because I was jealous or something, but that's not the case. I feel very passionately about this purpose, this cause of integrity and professionalism and protecting the public from the likes of her. So this is how it went down. So these emails are dated July 18th, 2023, over 2 years ago. Now, I disagreed with her on a post of hers about age gaps, and she responded very unprofessionally. And I immediately thought, okay, this is suspect. She can't be a psychologist. Nobody would speak to anybody this way. And I asked her for her credentials. And so she got, really upset and pushed back and started insulting me and said, I'm going to send you my credentials or send me yours. So that was already antagonistic for no reason, because as a professional, you're supposed to be accommodating when people ask for your credentials, because that's part of the job, is to be public about it. And your credentials do not show your personal information, your address and stuff like that. They are client facing, and you have to publicly display them.
I think she's had issues with mostly when people ask about, like, from the videos we've seen here, like, I think she gets upset when she's asked about what qualifications for her to be able to give advice. Of course, people are skeptical, and there are other professions that are actually in the profession that will ask for your qualification to say, okay, are you qualified to give this advice? And the reason why maybe that will be is because of certain things that you are saying. Thanks for watching and subscribe.